Hello everyone, Shaz here. Today I'd like to share with all of you guys a really great NADG watch, which I believe to be one of the rarest, really hard to get. I have no idea about the production year, the original retail price, the backstory for the watch and as such because I couldn't find them on the internet anymore, so I'm gonna assume this watch is really old, probably around 10 years and above. It is just a round shaped watch. Look at that. It is not solar powered, it is stainless steel material combined with resin like most Casio watches. As you can see, the bracelet itself looks really unique. Everything blends together very well. The construction is very well thought out. I gotta say that because if you look at it, the shape, the curve and all just combine all the way around, making it look like a singular piece, which is nice. The size is very acceptable as well, although it is quite long because it is indeed a Waveceptor Casio watch, but the thickness is really just nice. It features a dome-shaped manual glass, as you guys can see there, and if you look on the one push triple foldable clasp, there's Waveceptor and Casio sign over there. The pushers came in gloss finish, where the rest came in matte finishing out of stainless steel. On this bracelet, you can see there's a stainless steel China sign down there, and setting up the link is gonna be pretty tricky as well because there aren't any bars in here. You're gonna need to remove it all the way from this buckle part and then pull out one by one. It's just a size, which is not a problem at all, but still something different. I gotta say that very cool design. So if you look on the back plate, there's a lot of specs being mentioned down here, so I'm gonna read it out and show you guys the close-up. We'll have Casio, a Waveceptor symbol and Waveceptor lettering, illuminator, world time feature, data memory to 315 letters. It operates on Casio 2709 and the reference number is WVX-100J. If you want to look it up, search this keyword and probably you'll find it. It is stainless steel back, water resistant to only 5 bar, normal for a Casio watch and fully made in Japan. And on the sides of this backplate, brush finish backplate, there are a lot of those windows for the button operation. The purpose of 5 buttons. Yep, all 5 resin button on the side. Look at that. In black rectangular long shape, 1 2 3 4 and 5. A lot of things that you could do with the watch, even though it looks really simple, right? If you look at it just like that, it looks like the average analog watch, quartz movement of course. But if I press this button over here, boom, you can see that seconds will start appearing because this watch is missing a moving second hand. We only have skeletonized hour and minutes, so this will be the second in digital, and I'm calling this the floating digital display. Press this thing again, we could enter now to day-date display. Really cool. If I press this display button again, now we could have both of them, and if I press this thing again, it could light up the entire part. And I have a lot of G-Shock watches, and the most common problem that I found on a G-Shock watch is that we don't have a lot of space to work with, because if you want to add an analog hands and also digital part in the watch, there's a lot of space, and that's end up making G-Shock watch really big. But in this case, not at all. The problem could be solved just using this method. Really cool. And this doesn't even compromise the thickness as much. I mean, most watches are around this thickness, I believe around 17-18 millimeters, which is acceptable to all the things that this watch could do. Okay, I didn't have any lume, so you're gonna need to rely on the EL backlighting by pressing this button over here. It will glow the entire analog part because the faceplate does feature a mesh, a dotted texture, punch holes on it, so when you turn on the EL, it will pass through all of that and lights up, including the indices, the hands. You could see everything on the watch face, and that is very beautiful and very cool, though it didn't have any auto light functions. So this button over here on this upper right, if you press it, you could check when is the last time this watch has received the atomic time synchronization. So if you want to manually do that, you could do that as well. You could receive 40 kHz and 60 kHz signal. Now let me return back to home time. If I wanted to adjust the time, press this button over here at the center on the 9 o'clock position to adjust or set it up. There we go. You can see now I could set the Waveceptor to auto, and let's see now I could set the frequency as well, 60 kHz or 40. I could set the GMT time, daylight saving time on or off. I could also set the second, the hour, the minute, the date, the year, the months, the day, and back to this original setting. Very nice, very similar like most G-Shock watch. Now if I press this mode button, we could enter now called the world time or GMT mode. Yep, this watch has GMT. Look at that. While doing all this, we could accept the home timekeeping down at the back on the analog part. Really cool. Now press mode button again, we could enter the alarm mode. This one has 5 alarm including snooze and signal. And notice that each time I press this alarm, like say alarm number 1, there's an indicator down here at the 7 o'clock position. Alarm number 2, number 3, number 4, snooze and signal. If I turn it up, an indicator will appear on this side, which is cool. Next is called the data memory. So you could store quite a few memory in here, but altogether combined it gotta be 315 letters only. It has alphabet, Japanese katakana, Roman letters, numbers, symbols, a lot of things that you could do in here. You could store in email, names, equation, notes, and I mean you could even store an entire essay in here if you wanted to, because of that 315 letters. Next mode will bring us into the stopwatch. It has a range to 24 hours, and right now it is already running. I could stop this, play it around, and I could stop this and reset it back to 0. It does have split time function, and while using this, home timekeeping at the back still running. Last mode will bring us into the hand setting. If the hands didn't match with the digital display, this is where you could set it up by pressing the adjust button and move the hands in a way that it will match to this digital display, and then you are good to go. Now back to home timekeeping, and that sums up all the functions that this G-Shock watch have. The dimension for this model is about 61.5 millimeters lug to lug because of that antenna built in here, so they're gonna need to make the watch long. Even though you guys already saw on my wrist, it works just fine. The width size is just about 42.6, so this watch, even though it look big, it is not as big. 42.6 millimeter for a watch that could do a lot of things. Built-in padded design around it. I mean, the padding itself already about 10 millimeters in size already, right? So the watch itself is small. The thickness is just about 15.9 millimeters. The weight overall for this amount of length fit to my size is about 82 grams only. So again, this is how the watch looks like. Really beautiful Casio watch, which I gotta say very rare as well. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I really wish Casio do this thing again, or at least apply this technology in the G-Shock's lineup. I mean, they did that in the Pro Track, but in Pro Track, you know, they add different colors, they use different kind of display. This one is a lot better in my opinion. So that should sums it all. Thank you very much for watching. This is Shaz, and I'm